In this video, we're going to share with you a strategy that helped me to replace my income and become a full-time property investor. There are many strategies out there and all the strategies work, but I will be talking to you a strategy that helped me to replace my income and become a full-time investor. If in case you wanted to do the same, I will be sharing the step-by-step, how can you do it, and maybe in a short amount of time that it took me to replace my income. If you're new to this channel, my name is Valter Pontes and I started my property journey in 2019. Because of my circumstance, I decided to do a strategy called sourcing. Since then, I managed to build my portfolio and also I managed to build different streams of income. However, this is all possible because I took the first step, and in this video, I'm going to share with you, if in case you wanted to model what I've done, what is the step that you need to take to replace your income. Now, if you wanted to do this strategy, I'm going to cover the step-by-step, what I've done wrong and what I've done right, and what I would do if I would have to start all over again. So this is not the right strategy for everyone, but I'm going to do a video overview with many different strategies so you decide which strategy is going to be the right strategy for you. But in this video, we're going to be talking about sourcing because sourcing was the strategy I started in property. So what is sourcing? Sourcing is when you find a property, instead of you buy the property yourself, what you're going to do, you're going to pass that property to an investor and the investor is going to pay you a fee. The fee will vary. Sometimes it can be 5 grand, sometimes it can be 6 grand, sometimes it can be 10 grand. It depends on the deal and it depends on the strategies that you are sourcing. You can source different type of properties for different type of strategies. This is the strategy I use to make 6 figures, and then I use that money to build my portfolio. And most importantly, you start to understand many different strategies when you do sourcing. Also, you start to understand, okay, this is how I value a deal. This is what a good deal looks like. So now, how about if I would start sourcing all over again? What would I do differently? What would I do to scale even faster? So in this video, I'm going to be sharing step by step, what would I do? What are the steps that I would take if I would start sourcing now? And also, how would I do to scale my business? So for us to do that, first, let's address some of the myths when it comes to sourcing, because these myths can make people stuck. The objective of this video is for you to grow as fast as possible. So myth number 1, I'm sure you heard, if the deal is good enough, you can source this deal. This is a myth because most investors, even if you find the best deal, if it's not in the area that investor wants to invest, sometimes these investors won't buy the deal. So what we need to do instead, we need to find investors first, then we find the deal. And if I could go back, I would do differently. I would find the investors first, then I would find the deal. The second myth is you need to do the viewings yourself. People think that you need to do 100 views to find one great deal and then you're going to pass that deal to the investor. The reality is, if you're going to do deal sourcing with the volume, you won't be able to do viewings all the time. Particularly if you do sourcing nationwide, you won't be able to go to viewings and to check all these properties. So you could use companies like Viewba or other companies that does the viewing for you. So now that we got the myths out of the way, let me share with you step by step, how can you start your property sourcing business and how can you scale it much faster. So the first step we're going to do, we're going to decide how we're going to trade. Are we going to trade in our personal name or are we going to trade in a company name? To be very honest, most people will trade in a company name. So I will assume that you want to trade in a company name. So that's the first thing you're going to do. So if you decide to trade in a company name, the first thing you need to do, you need to decide the name of the company. And after you decide the name of the company, it's very important for you to decide if this company name is available. So what can you do? You can use company house availability check. So you can Google that, company house availability check. They're going to see if the name that you've chosen is available for you to open the company. So that's the first step that you need to do. You need to decide the name and you need to see if this is available. So after that, what you need to do, you need to have your business account. So you need to open your business account and also you need to open your client account. Client account is where the investor is going to be paying the fees and then later on it's going to go to your business account. So you need to have 2 accounts open. Then after that, you need to register some bodies. So you need to be compliant, and these are the bodies you need. So you need ICO, Data Protecting Act. So meaning you're going to be collecting data, so you need to be registered to ICO. Then you need to have the Property Ombudsman retirement scheme or residential scheme, you need to choose one of these bodies to be registered. Then you need to register anti-money laundering, and also you need to have a personal insurance which is called professional indemnity insurance. You need one more thing, which is you're going to have your company risk assessment for AML, for anti-money laundering. You're going to have these documents to make sure that you are completely compliant. These are the bodies and the legal entities you need to be registered. I know it's boring, but we need to do the things properly. After you've done all of that, after we took the boring thing out of the way, now it's time for us to find investors first. Then we're going to be finding deals for these investors. So where are the best places to find investors? The best place to find investors is going to be online. Online is the best place to find investors. You don't need to go to thousands of meetings. What you're going to do, you're going to find them online. Where do you find Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, or anyone who teaches basically property investment? You can find a way to connect with the teacher, and the teacher will have a qualified investors there first. So after you do that, you need to qualify these investors just to make sure that you know what they want. So this is the way you're going to find investors. Other ways you can find investors as well. There are some platforms that already have investors. You can register to these platforms. For example, Sourcing Investment is one of them. They already have investors, so you can have these investors already there. So now that you have qualified investors, it's time for us to find deals for these investors. So my question to you is, where can you find the best deals for these investors? So you can find the best deal. I focus on first, online first. I see a lot of people try to get direct to vendor, but you first going to focus online. Instead of doing all sorts of direct to vendor, there is plenty of good deals online. I know more than 15 ways of finding deals, but why do always I focus first online to secure the deals that are available online on the market? How can you find these deals? You can use a website, for example, Purple Brick, great website, or you can use eMovie, or you can use auction websites like Essential. You can use also some platforms that can help you to find more creative strategies like Property Filter. You could use these websites as well. As I said, there are many ways of finding great deals. You just need to find ways to find good deals for your investors. So now that you've secured the deal, the next step you're going to do, you will need to package that deal to the investor. You need to present the deal to the investor so the investor have the information so he can do this due diligence and move as fast as possible. Remember, you wanted to make the seller's life very easy by providing the right information so the investors can see and decide, okay, this is a good deal for me. And what you're going to do, you need to put a template. You can use, for example, a website called Canva, use a good template, put the numbers there, put the right information and send to the investors, and the investor is going to say to you very quickly if this is a deal for them or not. Now, depending if you have your investors or you are using platform, what you need to do, you need to upload this information to the investors direct to the platform or send that direct to investors. After the investor receives this information, normally what the investor wants to do, he wants to arrange a view to see the property. But before the investor goes and see the property, what you need to do, which is a very important step, you wanted to sign a non-disclosure agreement. A non-disclosure agreement is a document that protects you from the investors to go behind and steal your deal. A lot of people in the beginning, they're afraid of that, and the way you protect yourself is by signing this document. And after that, if you're happy to proceed, what the investor is going to do is going to pay a reservation fee. This reservation fee needs to go to the client account. In the beginning, I said we need to open 2 accounts, and one of the accounts we're going to have is a client account. So the investor is going to pay the reservation fee goes to the client account, and then in the end, the lawyers of the investor is going to pay the remaining money into your business account. So after you close your first deal, what you need to do now, very important step, you made money, you are now understand, okay, this is possible, I can do sourcing. What do you need to do for you to go to the next level and for you to scale your business? What you're going to do, you're going to document everything that you've done, and then you need to decide the steps that you're going to start delegating to someone else rather than do yourself. But you don't want it to delegate all the tasks. You want it to stay with the most important tasks. And these tasks I call income produce activity. Income produce activities are tasks that makes money into your business. So you're going to document everything, choose the ones who makes money in your business, and you're going to do them. And the other ones you're going to be delegating. Some of these activities you're not going to delegate will be talking to investors, but anything admin, doing the package of the deal, maybe you wanted to delegate delegate that to someone else, for example, to a VA, a virtual assistant that can do that for you. Any admin work you're going to delegate to a virtual assistant, you can find a virtual assistant and train them. That's where you're going to document everything. But anything that is related to money, you want it to still doing until you reach 5, 6, 7, 8 deals a month. Remember, if in case you wanted to scale, you need to be able to delegate the tasks that don't make you money and just focus on the tasks that make money. These are the steps you should do, and these are the steps I would do if I would have to start all over again. If you're still not sure which strategy to choose, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in the description below a video where I walk through some different strategies that you can choose even if you don't have a lot of money to start with. I hope you see value in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Bye for now.